Welcome to the fall edition of Directions, AT&T's all-employee video magazine. Coming up, CEO Jim Olson speaks to us from Telcom 87 in Geneva, Switzerland, and later he'll answer questions from several Directions watchers. We'll get a first glimpse of the recently finished control center for AT&T's worldwide intelligent network. We'll find out how employees at the Shreveport Works are adapting to just-in-time manufacturing. We'll see how McDonald's has flipped over AT&T's new computers. And we'll go to San Francisco to join the Navy. This is Directions, Fall 87.
One of the major thrusts of our single enterprise strategy is to truly make AT&T a global company. The fact that I am taping this segment of Directions from Telcom 87 here in Geneva, Switzerland, underscores the importance of the international marketplace. You know, we have 10,000 AT&T people involved in international activities, something like 5,600 in the United States, and some 4,200 people throughout the world. And I've had a chance to talk to a lot of them here at Telcom 87. And I got to tell you, I'm very, very pleased with what I hear about our progress. You know, all of AT&T's markets are fiercely competitive, but none that are tougher and more competitive than our international marketplace. Sure, we've had some disappointments. We lost a contract in France, I'm convinced because of politics, but that has not lessened our appetite. Let me tell you about 3 victories that we've had. In Japan, Network Systems sold a DDM 1000, that's Data Digital Multiplexer, $23 million sale, revenue starts in '87 and goes on to 1991. AT&T Singapore beat out Texas Instruments and Fairchild in selling integrated circuits to Seagate Technology, one of the largest manufacturers of disk drives in the world. And we've recently introduced a new Accunet digital service between Japan and the United States in cooperation with Japan's international carrier, KDD. All of this adds up to a lot of progress in the international marketplace. Tomorrow afternoon, I'm going to have a press conference here in Geneva, and I'm going to talk about earnings, which I can't give you today. But the good news is that the third quarter results continue the same positive results that we saw in the first 6 months. So we ought to all be very happy about AT&T's financial performance for the first 9 months of the year. You made it happen. Your efforts, your results, your commitment brought this turnaround that's taking place in 1987 in the AT&T company. And I hope that when I come back in the early 1988 to talk to you about all of 1987 results, you're going to hear good news. And you and I can both be proud as all of the 300,000 employees, and we should feel good about what's happened to our company in 1987.
Every day, over 75 million customer calls go through on the first try, thanks to the most intelligent, reliable, and extensive long-distance network on Earth. Here in Bedminster, New Jersey, after months of construction, the new control center for the AT&T Worldwide Intelligent Network is up and running.
Kansas City? Okay.
It's dedicated to the control and surveillance of that network. A network comprised of layers and layers of technologies integrated into a smooth working system that can forecast heavy traffic, monitor congestion, and calculate the quickest alternate routes, all in less time than it takes to dial. The control center receives minute-to-minute data about every major component and system that makes up our network and works with the 7 regional network operation centers to manage that network 24 hours a day, 365 days a year.
Generally speaking, our most important job is to keep an eye on the network to determine when problems occur, to respond to those problems, to get calls through. Where we have blockages, to find a way around the blockages, and where we have situations where we have shortages of circuits, to find additional ways to get those calls through by finding other offices to route those calls to.
A train derailment yesterday damaged one of our large light guide cables in the Midwest, but the system is dynamic enough with just a little bit of human intervention, you know, can definitely handle it. I didn't really see as much impact as you would have thought with possible 41,000 trunks out of service yesterday.
Like a window into the intelligent network, the control center's 75-screen video wall alerts the network and facility managers of unusual activity or exceptional conditions in the network.
When we first look at the wall board, it gives us a very brief overview on the condition of the network from the continental United States to various countries around the world. From there, we can determine what exactly is happening, and we get our backup information by going to these terminals that you see behind me.
And it's a visual indicator that something turns a different color, a yellow or a red. The individual console manager can look up and they can see that there's a problem.
If I see an abnormal condition appear on any one of the boards, I immediately contact the FMAC to find out, number one, do we have a failure? Or number two, do we need to take some action to prevent a failure?
What's 404 traffic doing coming from 913299?
The people here are an important part of a larger team that plans, maintains, and manages the network with unsurpassed technical expertise. Their common mission to make the best use of the network facilities at all times, to ensure call completion and customer satisfaction.
You see so many things occur. You're right in the middle of all network problems that do occur. You have a team of people who help you to solve these problems and work with you towards solving any network problem that might occur.
We don't always have a lot of customer contact per se like some of the organizations in AT&T do, but we do impact them, and we try to keep the picture in our mind that the end result, no matter what we do, no matter how technical we become, the end result is call completion.
This is AT&T's manufacturing facility in Shreveport, Louisiana. For 21 years, it had been the world's largest manufacturer of residential phones. But the pressures of a soft market for telecommunications equipment, the rapid pace of technology, and high production costs shifted residential phone manufacturing overseas. Since 1985, employees at the plant have undergone some traumatic changes. Of the 7,200 workers at the plant, over 3,000 were laid off, and the future at the factory was at best uncertain. It's 7 a.m., and employees are about to begin the first shift. In the past 2 years, AT&T has invested over $50 million in training and equipment to turn Shreveport into a world-class manufacturer of business telecommunications products like Merlin and Spirit. The new factory is designed to be flexible and adaptable to accommodate a volatile marketplace that has shortened product lifespans dramatically. The impact of the layoffs and the reorganization of the factory hasn't eclipsed the adaptability and flexibility of the employees who work there.
As a person, it made me realize that nothing is here forever. That if we are to survive as individuals with a company, we have to do our utmost to make our jobs work right the first time. A lot of us did a lot of serious thinking. We went through a lot of attitude adjustments. What can I do to make my job better? What can I do to make it go right the first time? What can we do to reduce cost? What can we do to, in effect, make the company better?
The employees at Shreveport have always produced quality work, but the rapid pace of technology and global competition turned Shreveport employees from mere suppliers into a cohesive team competing for survival.
Our co-workers that were laid off 2 years ago, their jobs went to Singapore, and we knew it. We knew right where those jobs went, and we knew ours could go next. And we knew the only way to keep those jobs here were to show that we are the best at what we do, and nobody can do it better than we can.
The factory reorganization is called the Advantage program. The old function shops were redesigned into focused factory lines, where a product is assembled from components at the front of the line to finished products at the end of the line. This process is called just-in-time manufacturing. Dubbed JIT by employees, it eliminates excess inventory and puts more emphasis on quality from each worker on the line.
Before, it took us a month to make a telephone. We could make a telephone in less than 2 hours now. If you want the telephone tomorrow, we can give it to you tomorrow. And you can't beat our quality. We build quality in. We don't check it into it in different stations in our processes. We build it in. It's in there to begin with.
Just-in-time manufacturing has nurtured a new philosophy among employees.
The team spirit has come from the attitude changes, from knowing we have to do this and we have to do it together. And the only way we can do it together is to work together and become a team. It has even evolved to the point where this is our family. We have a family at work, we have a family at home. This is our work family.
The success of just-in-time manufacturing depends heavily upon open communications between management and production workers. This new, closer relationship has increased morale as well as production yields.
Management is really out there 100% with us. They are taking our suggestions and applying them, or they are the engineers, for example. They're on the floor now. They're not up in the office where you don't see them for 2 or 3 weeks. You see them right then and there.
For employees at the Shreveport Works, the challenges have been difficult. From 7,200 employees to under 4,000. From electromechanical to electronic. From batch manufacturing to just-in-time. From supplier to global competitor. Employees at AT&T Shreveport Works are proving world-class in manufacturing and attitude.
I'm hoping that we have proven that we can do what needs to be done. We can make the changes that are necessary to be competitive, to stay in our field, to stay as a manufacturing facility. And this is another goal of mine, is to know that we're going to be here, to do the best I can to know that we'll be here.
AT&T is now in fast food through fast data processing served up by Data Systems Group's newly announced 6386 Workgroup System. AT&T will install the new Workgroup System computers in approximately 1,900 McDonald's owned and operated stores with the potential for additional sales to McDonald's 5,600 franchise stores. The announcement of the McDonald's sale was made by Data Systems Group President Vittorio Cassoni on September 2nd as part of the press conference introducing over 40 new and enhanced computer and data networking products.
McDonald's Corporation has made an order commitment to install 6386 workgroup systems in their company-owned restaurants throughout the United States. While I'm not at the liberty to disclose the size of the contract, I can tell you that we know of no larger contract being awarded or having been awarded on 386 technology since, in fact, the birth of the 386 technology. Just to quote McDonald's, the main reason for the choice really had to do with the price performance of the machine and AT&T's support of the Unix operating environment.
The press conference introduced AT&T's multi-user, multitasking desktop computer, the 6386 Workgroup System, and AT&T's new super mini computer, the 3B4000. The 6386 Workgroup Systems and 3B computers are designed to fulfill customer needs for connectivity, standards, and systems. The 6386 is the first desktop computer to fully utilize the power and speed of the new Intel 32-bit processor. It can run Unix System 5 and MS-DOS software concurrently, and with a program called DOS Supervisor, a user can run 8 MS-DOS applications simultaneously. The Workgroup System products operate in a non-proprietary environment, which means they can share software and data with the rest of AT&T's computer product line, as well as other vendor equipment. For customers who change, upgrade, or expand their data systems, AT&T's workgroups offer solutions on 5 functional levels. The workgroup systems offer customers the flexibility to introduce new technology as it becomes available without disrupting the operations, systems, and investment they have in place. The 40 new and enhanced computer and data networking products represent AT&T's commitment to break the barriers of incompatibility that limit the productivity of today's data systems. We invited employees to ask Jim Olson about the issues that concern them. Here are their questions and Mr. Olson's responses.
Mr. Olson, we're currently working with the 3 primary business strategies, emphasizing our data networking, our core businesses, and entering the international markets. I would like to know if those will still be our primary business strategies in 5 years.
Well, those 3-part strategies are certainly focused for the long pull. No strategy is fixed in cement. There'll be fine-tuning. And obviously, if a major change of direction is required long-term, we'll make it. But I would look ahead to 5 years and think that in 1992, our 3-part strategy will be very alive and still the major thrust for AT&T.
Mr. Olson, the competitors are hitting us hard with their advertising. When or are we going to get aggressive with our advertising?
Well, I think we've been very, very aggressive. Let's talk about 2 or 3 parts of our advertising program. Take consumer products. The second-class phone ads that ran for quite a period of time, that helped immensely to make people realize quality is what consumers want. And AT&T telephones are quality. And that kind of advertising, which was very aggressive, helped immensely in turning the consumer products business around, which is doing very, very well this year. Take another part of our advertising, our small business systems. You watch that today. What's the message? Don't fool around buying low-quality, low-cost type of business communication systems. It's too strategically important for your business. Very focused advertising, and I think very aggressive. We've had a national election going on which long-distance carrier American people wanted to use. Aggressive. I think Cliff Robertson was very important to us in getting that message apart. I think that's very aggressive. So my own feeling is that our advertising has been very market-focused. It's dealing with certain groups of customers out there, and I think very aggressive.
My question is, since divestiture, AT&T has entered into a number of joint ventures. I'd like to know if we're taking any type of analysis on, 1, the impact of these joint ventures on the fluctuation of our stock, and 2, the return on investment that we make in each of these joint ventures.
Well, we know an awful lot about the results in our joint ventures, but they are such a small part of AT&T's total investment and our revenue stream that they really don't have at this time a lot of impact on the price of the stock. What really impacts the market price of our stock are the current earnings performance of AT&T. And that's what caused that stock to go up early this year as our results improved dramatically over 1986. Joint ventures are important to us today, but they're very, very important to us for the long pull.
San Francisco is a Navy town. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The city of San Francisco and the United States Navy welcome you to Fleet Week 1987.
AT&T helped the city of San Francisco throw a 6-day party in mid-October. The guests of honor, the U.S. Navy's Pacific Fleet and the people of San Francisco. AT&T has been co-sponsoring Fleet Week since 1985. The reason?
The city of San Francisco is a very good customer, as well as the Navy is a very good customer. And that, I think, is key to what we're trying to do. We're giving something back to the community, both on a national level with the Navy, on a local level with the city of San Francisco.
AT&T's alliance of black telecommunications employees participated on the local level. Their goal, provide positive role models for young people from the predominantly black Hunters Point area. The day began with a message.
That's why we're here today, because in each of you we see something real special.
And I'm awfully impressed with all of you.
The alliance brought along 2 special guests. Rear Admiral Robert Toney, Commander, Naval Base San Francisco, and a Blue Angel, Lieutenant Commander Donnie Cochran.
Thank you very much.
Next came a ferry ride.
What do you think about this, huh?
And a tour of the guided missile cruiser USS Texas. It was a picture-perfect day that left everyone smiling. Smiles were also the order of the day in the tent set up by AT&T Operator Services.
The military market is extremely important to us. It's our second largest market, and they're our future customers. Inside the AT&T tent, we're offering demonstration calls anywhere outside of California. We are signing customers up to stay with AT&T. We're encouraging them to use the AT&T calling card, to use the non-subscriber card.
The reactions.
I think it's great. I got my AT&T card last year at Fleet Week.
Well, there's not too many places around here you can get a free phone call.
I'm about to order a card right now.
For AT&T, Fleet Week is a good investment.
The Navy alone accounts for about $150 million worth of sales a year for us. Fleet Week's important positioning for AT&T with a major customer, the Navy, puts us in close touch with them and lets them know we appreciate their business.
Art, I see you.
Cliff Robertson expressed AT&T's appreciation in another way. He presented AT&T long-distance gift certificates to the ground crew of the Navy's Blue Angels.
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Then it was time for the Blue Angels to get down to business. Fleet Week 1987. It left AT&T and the Navy flying high. This has been the fall edition of Directions, an ongoing portrait of who we are today and where we're going next. We'll be back next quarter with more. If your group is not yet on the Directions mailing list, call 1-800-922-DUBS. Or from New Jersey area headquarters locations, 201-221-2032. And when the last person in your group has finished viewing this tape, please return it for recycling.